We are developing some paper negatives today. These are negatives I shot a couple weeks ago, so they'll be a wonderful surprise. Have no idea what the shots are actually of, believe it or not. I'm using fairly standard processes. 3 containers, developer, stop, and fix. My developer actually is made to develop a lot more slowly than others. Instead of a 1:9 ratio or even a 1:14, I'm using 1:28. So it's about 30 to 40 seconds to get the beginning of an image and maybe a minute to a minute and a half to get the full image. The 4th container is actually line. So let's get underway. Surprise number 1. This may be a building from Cherry Beach, if I remember correctly, but let's give it a go. So I'm going to rifle it into the developer and I will agitate until I start to see the beginnings of an image forming. Let it form up a little bit and then I'll stop agitation and just let it develop on its own. So here we go. So like a nice slow developer, I have on occasion forgotten to stop down the aperture of my lens when I go to shoot an image, and that causes all sorts of problems. And if you've got a pretty dilute developer, you at least have some chance of saving the image. And yes, this is a hut on Cherry Beach here in Toronto. Coming in very, very nicely. So you can see the shadow areas are still quite light. So I'm going to fish this out and just hold it to let the developer work on the shadow areas, the lighter areas a little bit more. The developer gets burned off on the highlights quite quickly. So by having it out of the developer like this, you're a little bit more likely to get more even development across your image. So into the fix we go. So that looks great. The only thing I'm not going to like about this image, which I may consider fixing in post, is it has a very large post in front, which is a flagpole or something attached to the side of the building. And even with me standing far away from the building, I couldn't quite get the top of the post in, so it looks a little less than ideal. So we just go about 30 seconds in the stop. That seems to be probably good. So I'll fish it out. And I'm really bad at not rinsing between the trays. So my fix gets a little bit of orange developer in it. Stop. Which gives my images a nice sepia tone.